What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson, back with the latest and greatest on the Rio Robinson YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. Today is Tuesday, June 13th, and Washington concluded their offseason program today. They canceled the last offseason training activity, OTA practice, and just had a few starters in, and the attendance was not mandatory. So, a lot of the team wasn't there. They just had meetings and a light workout. Kept it light. They liked the work that the team got done over the last few weeks, and they want to give these guys a nice 6-week break before shit gets real at the end of July and training camp gets going. But we are now Santana Moss days away from the start of the regular season, 89 days away from our showdown with the Arizona Cardinals, week 1 at FedEx Field. And I cannot wait, man. Speaking of training camp, the team announced the training camp schedule for the year and what days fans can attend and what type of activations and activities will be taking place for fans this year. Last year, they dropped the ball with the lottery system that they did, and attendance was very shoddy. And there were guys posting pictures of days of camp where there were more tumbleweeds than people in attendance. They're not doing that this year. You can get your training camp tickets free of charge on SeatGeek, on the Washington Commanders app, and all those places you can sign up. Fans can start attending on July 27th. That Thursday, July 27th, that's the first day of fan attendance. Your boy will be there. I'll be there as many days as possible. I work around the corner from Ortho Virginia Training Center at Commanders Park. Always a tongue fool to say. We should just call it Commanders Park. But yeah, I work around the corner from there. I'm going to be there vlogging as many days as possible. They're going to get sick of seeing me there. I'm trying to get y'all as much content as possible from the scrimmages, the 11 on 11s, because your boy ain't no media member, so I can record when they scrimmage in practice, unlike the media members. So you're not going to find as much content as you're going to see here from training camp on this channel right here. So make sure you're locked in. Subscribe to Rio Robinson as we push towards 10,000 subscribers. We're now at about 7,300. The journey continues. But July 27th, Thursday through August 12th, those are the days that fans can, through August 19th, sorry. That's when fans can go to practice, and be on the lookout on the Baltimore Ravens official team website about attending the joint practices that we hold with the Ravens, because we got to get some burgundy and gold in attendance there. It'll be at the Under Armour training facility in Owings Mills. A nice state-of-the-art training facility. We can understand what a real one is supposed to look like, but I know I gotta be in attendance for those. But man, you know what would make training camp hit even different? I know we keep bringing it, but I'm trying to speak it into existence like LeVar Ball did with his children. Hard Knocks, man. We're still in the running for Hard Knocks. We usually know what team's going to be on HBO's Hard Knocks by now. We're in the middle of June. Hard Knocks starts the first week of August. It's a 5 to 6 week docu-series on training camp, and now there's a training camp and a regular season version. I just watched episode 3 because I'm trying to rewatch the Lions and Cardinals Hard Knocks versions from last year. I just watched episode 3, which was the joint practice episode they had with the Colts, and they were absolutely getting after it. Joint practices hit different. Now imagine it with the Hard Knocks cameras there. And for those of you who say, I don't want Hard Knocks, it's a distraction. Why are we coddling these grown-ass men? They are professional football players who get paid millions of dollars to play a sport they are good at. What the fuck is 30 HBO cameras going to cause a distraction for? There's hundreds of media members there, in and out of the building all the time, in the locker room, talking to them before and after practices, reporting every movement these guys make every practice. What is HBO cameras going to do? All it does is open up what's happening to the team and what the local fans know. It's opening it up on a national scale. How's that a distraction? It's literally the same shit, but on a bigger scale. Don't coddle these guys. That's a soft-ass mindset if you think some HBO camera. It's about 30 HBO cameras, bro. It's a crew of about 30 to 50 people. That's a distraction. If your football team cannot handle some extra media members and some cameras shining light on what you do on an everyday basis during training camp, then you're trash. Your team is trash. They're mentally weak, and they're not built to be successful if Hard Knocks is daunting and distracting for them. Fuck out of here. That shit is nothing but a good thing. And we got new ownership coming in. What better time for it than now for Washington to be on Hard Knocks? I've always wanted it for us, but I could not think of a better year for us to finally secure it. New ownership coming in. We get to say, ding dong, the witch is dead. Dan Snyder's not coming through that door anymore. We have real ownership. The league, Roger Goodell, NFL Film should be all over it. Hey, guys, you know how Washington's been a joke for the last 24 to 30 years? That's not happening anymore. Hey, look at our new owners, guys. Look at them. Look at Josh Harris and Mitchell Rell. Guys, look, Magic Johnson. Have HBO just follow Magic Johnson around for a whole fucking episode. It's Magic Johnson. He has a smile and a charisma that illuminates any room he walks in. Eric Bieniemy will be a Hard Knocks star. And offensive coordinators usually are the stars of Hard Knocks because they get after, especially ones with personality. I remember how good Jay Gruden was on the Cincinnati Bengals year on Hard Knocks. He was fucking hilarious. Now imagine the intensity of EB getting in dudes' asses for fumbling in practice, for fucking up the cadences. I want to see it. I want to see how he handles the quarterback competition firsthand for all the cameras to see. I want to see HBO walking around and interviewing fans when I'm at training camp. I'm sorry. I need it. I want it. And I'm going to speak it into existence until they tell me otherwise. Until they tell me the Jets want it, the Saints want it, the Bears want it. And word on the street right now, neither of them want the Hard Knocks, and Washington hasn't came out and said they haven't won it. I had the team president, Jason Wright, on the show. Asked him about Hard Knocks, and he said,
I think a training camp version would be great for us because it would give the entire public an opportunity to see the organization that we've become, to see the culture that's been built by Ron and that team, to see the quality of guys that we have, to see the phenomenal coaches that we have, to highlight Eric Bieniemy and what he brings, to give the whole world insight into who he has and into who he is and what he brings to the table, and what they're going to bring to the fore, the way that they're going to lead, the way they're going to engage the community. I actually think that there's probably no better fit than us for the preseason Hard Knocks.
It would be great for this team. It would be the perfect time to show guys it's a new day and a new direction in practice, man. But I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the Hard Knocks announcements. I need to either get my hope shot down or I need to be more hyped than ever. I will be there every day. Hard Knocks is there if we get that shit this year. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood, do whatever you got to do. I want it. I need it. I got to have it. And the Lions season was fantastic last year. And we would become immediate media darlings if we were on the show this year. But the topic of today's video, a lot of rambling going on, but there are some things to get to today. Breakout players for the 2023 season in Washington. Last year, our breakout star was Derek Forrest, second-year safety out of Cincinnati. Gotcha Forrest. I remember they called him Gotcha because when we drafted him, every interview, every time someone asks him a question, he says Gotcha and then answers it. It's kind of a captain thing that he did at Cincinnati to work on his communication with his teammates over there. And we see how good, nasty that secondary in Cincinnati was. He played with guys like Sauce Gardner and Kobe Bryant over there, but he broke out for us last year. 4 interceptions. Nobody saw this coming but my boy Tay in the chat. Deontay always comes with the obscure left brain predictions for the season, and he was saying Defo, and we was laughing at him around this time last year. And then what happened? He had a good summer, and he had a good spring, and he complimented that and paired that with a good summer, came after it, got straight to the shits week 1 versus Jacksonville, where he was taking dudes' heads off, and he caught the game-sealing interception, and he was able to carry that momentum with him for the rest of the year. So I'm looking at 3 players, 3 that you see in this picture right in front of you right now as breakout candidates for the Washington Commanders in 2023. We got a 4-year guy and 2 second-year guys. Let's start with the oldest of the group, Khaleke Hudson, going into year 4 at the middle linebacker position. Oh, how nice it would be to have another athletic 6-foot-tall, come downhill, sideline to sideline, fast demon backer. They call him Hitman Hudson because he wears number 47, Agent 47, Hitman. If you've seen the movie or played the video games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is a guy who got cut during roster cuts last year. Didn't see much of the field, and then he came back on the roster and got him a start and a lot of playing time week 18 versus the Dallas Cowboys, and he opened some eyes. He was flying across the field. He was in the backfield getting TFLs, and he looked the part for the first time. The only guy I know that believed in Khalil Hudson was my boy Alex in the group chat. Shout out to my brother. Shout out the gang. That boy love him some Khalil Hudson, bro. He got a Khalil Hudson jersey out here. Nah, he don't got one. We always make fun of him because he had this Tim Settle jersey where like nobody else had it. But yeah, man, Khalil Hudson. Wouldn't it be nice if we could pair Jamin Davis with another linebacker on his level or better? It would be nice because the defense is almost perfect. At this point, if we can get more than adequacy from the linebacker position, the defense has everything. It has everything it needs to be the best unit in the league. Not just a dominant unit, not just a top 3 unit, the best unit in the league. The best unit in the league. On paper, we have the best, most highly touted, talented, high upside defensive line in the league. With Young and Sweat coming off the edge and Allen and Payne, dogs in the middle. In a secondary, we have a really good safety combo between Cam Curl and Derek Forrest and a guy we're going to get to in just a second. And we added 2 starters to the mix with Emmanuel Forbes and Quan Martin out of Illinois to go with Benjamin St. Juste and Kendall Fuller. The secondary has a lot of bodies. The defensive line room has a lot of bodies. The thinnest and most questionable group on the defensive side of the ball is that middle linebacker position. And it definitely made my eyebrows perk up a little bit. John Keim on his podcast said Khalil Hudson has been turning eyes again at OTAs and during the spring, and he's been getting a lot of run with the ones. And the linebacker we signed in the offseason, Cody Barton from Seattle, who we signed to start next to Jamin Davis, has been getting a lot of time with the 2s. You know, they could be mixing and matching, or Khalil could be in line to start next to Jamin. But may the best man win. I'm not holding any favorites in that race. May the best dog take command of that position. No pun intended. Moving to number 2, breakout star for Washington in 2022. And when I say breakout players, you'll notice I won't say Brian Robinson and Jahan Dotson. They're going to get their own separate videos because I don't think they need to break out in 2023 because they already broke out in their rookie year. If Brian Robinson didn't get shot in the offseason, he would have ran for 1,100 yards last year because he had 812 games. Jahan Dotson had 7 touchdowns and he missed 5 or 6 weeks of the season. They broke out already. They've already carved out a niche in the offense and an identity into the fabric that is our starting lineup. But my prerequisite for breakout players are guys who have not necessarily either had the opportunity or took advantage of their situation yet. And these are 3 guys with very minimal statistics right now. And the next 2 guys are second-year players. And number 2 on the list, Percy Butler, second-year safety, Louisiana Raging Cajuns, Brian Mitchell's alma mater. Safety. We were just talking about how many we have, the log jam that we have in the secondary. What a luxury it'll be if Percy Butler goes off. You've been hearing that name all over practices in Ashburn so far, catching turnovers, forcing turnovers, deflecting passes, and he knows where he's going now. He's not a rookie saying, we want you in a little bit of Buffalo nickel. We want you in a little bit of here. We want you at safety. It seems like they have a fleshed out role for him now, and 1 year of experience in the league, maybe all he needed, the only medicine he needed to get going. But he already has carved out an identity as one of our best special teams players. Tress Way talks about him. He's one of our gunners, and he's a dog as a gunner. He's a absolute dog on the special teams unit. And Percy Butler has what I call crackhead speed. You know, some guys have deceiving speed where they don't look like they're moving as fast as they're going. But I don't know if y'all ever seen a crackhead, but crackheads are fast as shit. They're athletic as fuck, and they look like they're as fast as they're moving. Percy Butler, crackhead speed, 4.36 40-yard dash coming into the NFL. Second year. I'm excited to see what this guy has to go. Cam Curl had some injury issues last year, and he has a looming contract situation that cannot be resolved until our new ownership gets in the building. So we're talking about depth. can slide his way into a starting spot if somebody gets hurt, or he can earn himself some snaps. Jack Del Rio likes to mix up how we play this defense. He can get some snaps at the Buffalo nickel. He can get some snaps as the primary free safety. You never know how Jack's going to do it. Jack got his chest poked out. He's peacocking. He knows he has everything he needs in that room. You know, Ron's mantra that he always says, Jack has it all. And Percy Butler is primed to have a monster year too, as long as health stays on his side. I'm looking to see what he can do from more than a special team standpoint. I cannot talk about how much I was surprised by what Derek Forrest did last year. I tabbed and typecasted Derek Forrest into the role of DeShazer Everett, which is emergency safety. If you need him for a few snaps or maybe a game or two, he can give you that, but don't want to rely on him. But special teams ace. That's what I thought Derek Forrest was going to be. I don't know what Percy Butler is, but with a lack of speed throughout the entire secondary, we can use another 4-3-6 running motherfucker on this defense. But number one on this list, number one breakout candidate for the Commanders in 2023, Aquaman himself, Cool Breeze, Mr. Cole Turner, 6'6", 243-pound tight end out of Nevada. Goal line threat, stretch the field threat, vertical threat, move, versatile piece that we can use in the tight end room. We need a guy, man. Right now, the only person he's behind is Logan Thomas, which is one of the KG veteran captain guys on the team. But Cole Turner can establish himself as the tight end one for this team. He has the best skill set that translates to what the league does today at the tight end position. And we know how important the tight end position is to this West Coast offense that Eric Bieniemy is going to establish here, coming from Kansas City, where he had possibly the greatest tight end in the history of football over there with Travis Kelce. Cole Turner, y'all hear me talk about summertime Cole on here all the time. I saw it with my own two eyes. Me and Jalen, we was front and center for about 7 practices the first 2 weeks of camp last year. He was the most impressive player on the offensive side of the ball last year through those first 10 days. Cole Turner, he was always open. He always knew where he was going. His routes weren't dirt. He was actually running sharp routes. And this year, he's coming in better shape. Cut from 14% body fat down to 9% body fat. As someone in the process of trying to lose a ton of body fat himself, losing 5% is a big deal. That helps with injury and shit too. That helps you stay on the field. He wants this, man. This guy looks the part. He looks like a superstar, bro. You look at him, he starts breaking out. He's going to get Garnier Fructis and Head and Shoulders commercials, bro. Have you seen the locks coming out of the helmet for this guy? He looks the part of a star tight end, and I want to see him build on a strong spring, keep that going into the summer, and most importantly, stay healthy, because we can use a lot of 12 personnel, which is 11 personnel, which is 2 tight ends on the field. And I would love to see the Logan Thomas Cole Turner dynamic, having both tight ends on the field, but I need a guy to step up and be him in the tight end room. We ignored the deepest tight end class the league has seen in the last decade for guys like Cole Turner. And with the absence of Amari Rodgers tearing his Achilles in OTAs, Cole Turner, it is your world. Take the bull by the horn and get busy. Our offense can just take off if we get a dynamic playmaker in the tight end room. Just listen, look at my clip crystal ball with me. Sam Howell is wheeling and dealing. Eric Bieniemy got this offense rolling. We drop him back in a shotgun. We got Brian Robinson in the backfield. Matter of fact, we're throwing 2 backs on the field. We got Gibson on one side. We got Brian Robinson on one side. 3 receiver set. Terry on one side. Jahan on one side. Curtis Samuel in the slot. And a booming tight end to go with it. And an upgraded O-line. The opportunities are endless if these 3 players step up for us. Cole Turner, my number one breakout candidate for 2023. Establish yourself as the tight end one here, and we may have a star and a diamond in the rough here in DC. Percy Butler, Khaleke Hudson, Cole Turner, my 3 breakout players for the Commanders in 2023 season. Let me know who your breakout 3 candidates are, and Don't say Brian Robinson. Don't say Jahan Dotson, bro. They already broke out, bro. They don't need nowhere to go. They're not in prison right now. They don't need anything to break out from. They just need more activity and to stay on the field because those guys have already showed us they're going to be a focal point of the offense for this team. But that's all I got for right now. We have now reached that dead ass dog days of summer moment of the off season where we just got to do whatever it takes to keep content and keep conversation flowing because training camp don't start until July 27th. We got about a month and a half to go, y'all. Give your friend a hug when you see him because football is coming. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Commander Rio, out.